Before I even begun my residency at Vryssaki, I knew my starting point of inspiration would be ancient Greece, and in specific, the ancient sites all around that area. It is almost impossible, when on these sites, not to feel a sense of honor and peace, be it the history, be it the Greek terrain, be it the marble still standing. I walked through the ancient agora with my daughter, looking for what inspires me most, and what inspired me most was the way she herself explored the space. Through her eyes, I started feeling the marble, soil, and plantation. Through her eyes, I started smelling the moistness of the spring we discovered. Through her eyes, I again saw the sharpness of the light and the contrasts of the shapes and colors. I have always been captivated by the touch. What I touch has been touched before, many, many times before. What I physically come in contact with has also come in contact with other beings over the centuries. This creates a sense of bond. Whereas sights, smells, sounds change constantly, the physicality of the terrain and structures stays the same. Spaces occupied by a series of cultures over time captivate me. One very inspiring example, the Tower of the Winds, also called Orologion, is an octagonal pendelic marble clock tower on the Roman Agora. The structure features a combination of sundials, a water clock, and a wind vane. It was supposedly built by Andronikos of Cyrus around 50 BC, but according to other sources, might have been constructed in the 2nd century BC, before the rest of the Forum. I took particular interest in the life of the tower during Christian times, when the building was used as a bell tower of a Byzantine church. And under Ottoman rule, it became a tekke and was used by whirling dervishes. This is when I invented my live maps. Maps are fascinating documents, even more so maps of a land which has been altered in so many ways through time. Through my research, I felt I was closer to what I wanted to see come out of this residency. Walking past the Odeon of Agrippa, I was drawn by the grandeur of the massive pillars which were carved in the form of giants. This brought me to research yet another building with many lives. The Odeon of Agrippa was a large concert hall located in the center of the ancient Agora of Athens. It was built about 15 BC, occupying what had previously been open space in the center of the Agora. It was a gift to the people of Athens by Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, a Roman statesman and general. The two-story auditorium seated about 1,000 spectators and was equipped with a raised stage and marble-paved orchestra. Unfortunately, the 25-meter of the auditorium eventually caused the roof to collapse in around 150 CE. The Odeon was rebuilt as a smaller lecture hall, seating only 500, and a more elaborate facade was added to the north side. Its massive pillars were carved in the form of giants and tritons. The Odeon was finally destroyed in 267 CE by the Herulians. Next in my search of multi-life buildings came the Temple of Hephaestus. I found especially interesting that contrary to most ancient buildings, the fact this temple is still standing is owed to Christian orthodoxy. In the 7th century AD, the temple was turned into a Christian church dedicated to Saint George. And the last Holy Mass that took place in the temple was on February 2nd, 1833, during the celebrations for the arrival of Otto in Greece. And while engrossed on how Christianity has saved, altered, or destroyed ancient sites, I came across Saint Asomatos Saskalia. This small church was built by the noble family Chalkokondili in the 12th century and was renovated in 1576 by Michael Chalkokondilis. It was named Saint Asomatos because it was devoted to Archangel Michael by its synonymous founder, while because of its position at the Adrian Library's propylaeon was named Staskalia, meaning on the stairs. At the beginning of the 18th century, the narthex fell into disuse, and after 1843 the church was demolished. On the floor of the main temple, as well as in the narthex, were excavated 11 cist and vaulted graves, in which were buried mainly members of the Chalkokondili family. The only visible remains of the church are the remains of a wall and the fresco on the library's facade, which represent the prayer in Gethsemane, the treachery of Judah, and busts of saints. My last live map was the altar of the 12 gods, a map very much alive today. This ancient altar, dedicated to the 12 gods worshipped in ancient Greece, is located on the ancient Agora of Athens and situated near the temple of Ares. It was an important point from which distances were reckoned inside the city. Information of the exact location of the altar was scarce due to the lack of ancient sources. However, excavations in 1891 and 1934 point south of the Athens-Piraeus Railway, where findings of the southwest corner of the altar were discovered deep under Roman and Byzantine levels. On the 17th of February 2011, it was reported that the famed altar was discovered. The discovery of the altar has resulted in a disagreement between the archaeologists and the Athens-Piraeus Railway. Despite the immense importance of this discovery from an archaeological point of view, the railway plans to rebury the site to avoid further delay in the final delivery of the renovated infrastructure.